teammates. Welcome to the Live Well podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jen Collins.
And I'm Seth Christopher. Welcome to the Well.
Good morning, Seth. How are things going with you today?
Hey, Jen. Things are going fantastic. How are you?
Doing wonderful. It's been a interesting week, to say the least, but it's only Tuesday, so it's going to get much better, I would assume. I'm very excited to talk today with you and with our listeners about our topic on breast health and breast cancer awareness.
It's an extremely important topic, not just this time of year. I know it's top of mind in October, but we're going to talk a little bit about why it's important year round and hopefully give some good information. So I'm really excited too, Jen.
It's going to be great. We have an awesome guest that we're going to have on our show today. Jill Ashburner, who is part of our Live Well team, is here to talk all about what Atrium does to promote breast health and awareness. So I can't wait to get to that. You know, breast cancer is near and dear to my heart because it hit my family when my mom was actually fairly young. She was in her early 40s and was diagnosed with breast cancer fairly far along. So she's fine and recovered and gets her screenings every year like she's supposed to. But it really became first and foremost when she got diagnosed. And I have two other sisters. So it's something that we talk about and make sure we encourage each other to get our screenings. So I'm excited to talk about this today.
Early 40s. Wow. Jen, this is a topic that touches you, as you said, touches me. I have a grandmother who was in her early 70s when she was first diagnosed, still kicking at 91. She is as strong as they come. I'm sure our listeners probably have a story, a connection to someone they know, family most likely, or someone in their inner circle that has been touched by breast cancer, whether it's early stages or late stages.
It's a pretty important topic. What's interesting is we're going to talk all about how to get the screenings, where to get the screenings, what the stats are, but it's just important to have the conversation and be aware and just keep it on the forethought.
Yep. Talk about screenings, talk about resources for you teammates, but let's also talk about some potential things that we can do to at least give ourselves a chance, early detection, but also adjusting some modifiable risk factors. And we'll spend some short time talking about that too.
I love it. You ready to get into it?
Let's dig in.
Let's do some fast facts.
All right. Fast facts. Breast cancer is the second most common cancer in American women, just behind skin cancers. Fast fact. 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. 1 in 8.
It's crazy.
Fast fact. There are over 3.5 million breast cancer survivors in the United States.
That's my favorite fact so far.
Yeah, it speaks to what we're talking about today. Early detection via screening equals a better survival rate. Don't get your screenings, later detection, lower survival rate. I know that sounds very morbid, but it's extremely important. And I think, we talk about the numbers of 3.5 million breast cancer survivors. It does speak to being proactive and just using those screenings that are available to you.
Absolutely makes a difference. Screenings are important. What other facts do you have?
Fast fact. In a recent study by the Massachusetts General Hospital, looking at the impact of COVID, and as we all know, everyone's healthcare was disrupted, 31% of people who had been diagnosed with breast cancer reported a delay in care. So that's almost a third of people who had a diagnosis prior to the COVID impact, is what we'll call it, COVID disruption, reported that they had a delay in their care in the following months. Of those people who had never been diagnosed with a breast cancer, almost 30% of them reported a delay in their care. So think about that. So a little bit less than 30% of people not having a diagnosis of breast cancer prior to COVID reported that they had an impact on their screenings, versus more than 30% of those that were currently undergoing treatment or had already had a diagnosis.
That's really sad. That's just again speaks to the importance of getting on those screenings, getting back into the doctor, getting that care back on track.
And more importantly, Jen, not letting the disruption of COVID impact that care, taking advantage of the screenings. I read a recent study, I don't have the exact statistics here. Essentially, what they looked at was what was the COVID effect, not just within the next year, but over the lifespan of certain cohorts of women. And what they determined was something as simple as pushing out your screening 6 months could result in higher mortality. And there actually are some expectations that in a specific model that I think they ran in Denmark, they're looking at higher mortality rates as a result of breast cancer over the next 5 years than we experienced in the previous 5 years.
That's really wild. And that actually makes me think about, I had a coworker at a previous job who she actually had nothing to do with COVID, but she ended up delaying her mammogram. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was about 6 months. And within that 6 months, she noticed a lump and had to go in, and she had breast cancer. And when we talked, she's doing fine now. She's recovered. She's actually a really great champion for awareness and screenings. But what's interesting is when we talked, part of what kept her from going to get her screening was she felt she couldn't take off time from work. And not because of our job, it was just the nature of our job, because our role place really promoted screenings and going to get your preventative care. But she in her own self felt that she just couldn't take the time. And so now she's absolutely a champion for not missing those mammograms.
Great story. I am so #Atrium proud that we have the time out for prevention. Teammates, you have time out for prevention. You have 2 hours a year. Take advantage of it. You are important. Screenings are important. Please, please take the time out.
That's right. Do the best thing you can for your job, which is taking care of yourself so that you can continue with your family and your friends. Any other facts that you have for us?
I do. I wanted to stop there for a second as we're talking about this, and I'm reflecting on, one of our quotes from Dr. Chase Bailey Dorton, who was in our calendar, and something she said. Simple sentence. I think it sums up exactly what we just talked about. Cancer doesn't stop during a pandemic.
That's it.
Get
It was
your screenings.
right. Did you see the post? Did you get the postcard that Atrium sent to the house? It's nice and pink and gray, and it has this quote in great big letters on it and a picture of Dr. Bailey Dorton. So great quote. Say it again.
Cancer doesn't stop during a pandemic. Get your screenings.
Yes, I love it.
All right, last fast fact. In a 2016 meta-analysis that included 38 cohort studies, they found the most physically active women had a 12 to 21% lower risk of breast cancer than those who were least physically active. And so this speaks to sort of our niche in the world here, discussing the importance of being physically active, because it is one of those modifiable risk factors. And for teammates that are just plugging in, haven't always followed the podcast, we do like to talk about physical activity, but let's maybe visit some risk factors for breast cancer quickly so you get some more context for why being physically active is important. So risk factors for breast cancer include increasing age, race, breast characteristics, reproductive patterns, hormone use, alcohol use, tobacco use, diet, physical activity, body style. These are all things that are risk factors, and you can see only a few of those you really can control. You can't control how old you are. That's inevitable, and hopefully the number gets bigger every year. For some people, it gets stuck at 29. But physical activities within that list is one of those things that you can modify. And based on the fast fact, but tons of other research observationally and within clinical trials shows that increases in total of physical activity decreases risk of mortality, but also increases your likelihood of survivorship.
Absolutely. And it's actually, we talk about physical activity with most cancers and decreasing risk. So it's a great thing. And what's nice is walking counts. So it doesn't have to be a big major workout all the time. With as little as 3 hours of exercise per week or 30 minutes a day, a woman can begin to lower her risk of breast cancer. So really good story there. Are you ready to do some Mythbusters?
Let's shift some gears and let's bust some myths.
Like it. So ironically, you ended on physical activity. I'm going to start with physical activity. So myth number 1, if you maintain a healthy weight, exercise regularly, eat healthy, and limit alcohol, you don't have to worry about breast cancer. So it sounds like a true false question, doesn't it?
Wait a minute, Jen. I just spent 2 minutes getting everyone pumped up on the importance of being physically active and taking control of some of those modifiable risk factors. And now you're saying that's not always the case.
I knew you were not going to be very happy with this myth, but I wanted to make sure that we brought it out here at the front and the timing was just perfect. That is absolutely right. As we talked about, these healthy behaviors can help lower breast cancer risk, but they cannot completely eliminate it. For this reason, annual screenings, your mammograms, your monthly self-breast exams are vitally important, even when you may be doing everything right. So screenings, please do continue to maintain a healthy weight, eat healthy, get regular exercise and limit your alcohol, but don't forget those screenings. Myth number 2, breast cancer always causes a lump you can feel. So the fact is that breast cancer might not cause a lump, especially when it first develops. We recommend monthly breast exams, but it's not at the exclusion of mammograms, which are recommended annually once you get to a certain age, and definitely talk to your physician about what age you should begin your mammograms because it may depend on your risk factors. So while self-exams are designed to check for lumps during the year, in between those mammograms, it doesn't catch everything. So this is kind of our tagline today: screenings. Get those mammograms.
That's right. Make sure you're having those conversations with your provider. We talk about it often, in addition to all the fun things that come along with that, being physically active, of course, but making sure that you have great dialogue and a great connection with your provider or your physician is imperative to making sure that you're getting those screenings and you're getting the right advice at the right time.
Absolutely. Great point. Ready for myth number 3?
Bring it on.
Carrying your cell phone in your bra can cause breast cancer.
That's you're saying you're going to bust this myth, right?
I'm going to definitely bust this myth. So I don't know if maybe any of our listeners have sort of tucked that phone in the bra. If you don't have any pants pockets, phones are getting so big now that may not be as realistic, but when they were smaller, this was something that people would do, and it always would bring up this question. There is no evidence of a connection between cell phones and breast cancer, but the safety of cell phones still is being studied. So there are reports, that say maybe down the road, but for the most part, this does not cause breast cancer. So might be best just to keep that cell phone in your pocket or in your purse, but if you got nowhere else to put it and you have to put it in your bra for just a minute, you're going to be just fine probably.
Good advice. I'm not concerned with me having thought that, I guess, before I came in here. I guess I don't have a risk for that if that were a thing. But I think it's important for our listeners to know. I do feel like that's one of those urban myths that's been circulating. Again, no research, no evidence is what you're saying. But in the absence of that knowledge base, let's play it safe anyway.
Yeah, it's still being studied because, could there be some low energy radiation that comes out from that phone? We just still don't know. Cell phones are relatively new still, so it's constantly being looked at and studied. So the manufacturers recommend just put it in your pocket or your purse. But like I said, it's a fun myth to bust. So, all right, are you ready to talk to our guest?
Yeah, let's talk to Jill. Let's bring her on and let's hear all about things that are happening around the system.
Jill has been with the Live Well team at Atrium Health for over 8 years. Jill has a Bachelor's of Science in Health Promotion and Kinesiology and holds many certifications in nutrition and health coaching. She has been instrumental in the planning of our annual health campaigns and is honored to hear the profound stories of survivorship from our teammates who are breast cancer warriors. Jill has a personal connection that drives her, a family history of breast cancer on her mother's side, and has had her own scare with a core biopsy several years ago. She is on the board of managers with the 24 Foundation and has participated with that program for the last 8 years. Jill, welcome to the Well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Jill, we're really excited to have you here. We know you've got some tremendous stories that you're going to bank on, a lot of great information. So thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Jill, if you can, talk to us about the campaign this month. We've talked, it's October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tell us and the teammates what this is all about.
Yeah, so every year I've had the pleasure of being a part of the campaigns. We partner with the communications team and marketing and a lot of the other, of our partners throughout the enterprise to promote some signature campaigns to really raise awareness about, disease and things that affect our teammates. And annually, breast cancer, breast health awareness is a campaign that we look at, as is heart health and family health. So those are sort of our signature campaigns that we do every year. Breast health, is always probably one of our most popular campaigns because it does touch so many lives. I think everybody seems to have a story associated with breast cancer, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, as we talked about, I have a story. I think Seth has a story in his family. You do. It's good that this month has been put aside for breast cancer awareness for many, many years, but we still have more conversations to be had. So as part of this month, we also had, we have a calendar. In our calendar, we talk about this, and we have a star in our calendar. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, Dr. Chase Bailey Dorton. She is just a phenomenal advocate for cancer. She is the Chief Integrative Oncology Assistant Professor of Medicine for the Department of Supportive Oncology. So she
Say that 5 times.
I know, right? But that doesn't even begin to speak to what a phenomenal person that she is. She works with Levine Cancer Institute, and she is not only a wonderful doctor and compassionate provider. She has also been touched with cancer in her own life. She is a survivor. She is I think she's at 17 years now, cancer survivor. So, her story is so important. Her message is so important because, she's seeing teammates and patients every day that have cancer, and she's walking the walk. She is eating. She really promotes a well-rounded lifestyle, eating healthy, super passionate about food and nutrition and what an important role that plays with cancer prevention and also just staying active.
That's an interesting point. I'd like to sit there for a second, Jill. We all have our personal stories, and you're talking about, the doctor's experience, and this is her field, and she's had to deal with it too. It's, it really just speaks to the scope of cancer. It can reach anyone, it can infect anyone. It doesn't know a limit or a boundary that it doesn't cross for all of our lives.
Yeah, for sure. And, something else interesting about Dr. Bailey Dorton is that she not only, stays active and fit, she actually completed a triathlon, an Ironman triathlon. She did the 2.4 mile swim, 112-mile bike, and a full marathon. All
go big or go home, right?
In her 20s, right? In her 20s when she was.
Yeah, no.
Wow, that's inspiring. This
was her 16th, when she was 16 years out from her diagnosis. So, if she can do it, anyone can, and that's kind of her message. She said it was kind of similar to being during chemo, because you really want to stop, but you can't. You know what's waiting for you at the end, and you just got to get to that finish line. So I thought that was kind of a unique quote that she mentioned in an interview that she had done with the news. So she's a phenomenal person.
That's so cool. Let's talk about what we're doing. Live Well, as you said, you're very active with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And what are we promoting here at Atrium and through Live Well? What are we doing?
Yeah, well, speaking of Dr. Bailey Dorton, that was one of the things that the quotes that she had too was, cancer doesn't stop during a pandemic. I mean, this has been to overuse the word unprecedented. It's been an unprecedented year. This, none of us knew what to expect, but that doesn't mean that people are going to stop getting cancer, unfortunately, or that we need to let our guard down, or that we need to not get our screenings. So that is the message that we're really focusing on this year is cancer doesn't quarantine, so you need to keep the prevention ongoing. Our goal is always really to improve, the awareness of mammograms, make sure that our teammates know that what it is and how to get their mammograms, especially the 3D mammograms, covered at 100% for those teammates that are on our benefits plan, and really just to increase awareness, not only with themselves, with our teammates, but for them to take the message home to their families as well, because a teammate may have a wife or a sister or mother or somebody else that they want to just really make aware of the importance of screening, pre-screening and self-screening.
And we have that really great pink mammogram van that goes around. I remember I got to experience that right before COVID hit, because it came to the APC, and they're so nice, and it was just so easy to get the screening done. I was so thankful that was an option that Atrium offered to us.
Yeah, we've been able to partner with Charlotte Radiology and the Cabarrus, the Atrium Health Cabarrus mobile units. So we do literally meet you where you are to be able to get it done and make it easy to get it done.
It's got to be easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So talk a little bit about Project Pink. What's going on there?
So Project Pink is part of the Atrium Foundation, one of the places that you can go to yourself, contribute or to find some more information about it. But it is also, we've partnered with them for the last 3 years to be able to give $1 from every sale of our signature item to Project Pink. So what that dollar does is it helps to fund a mammogram for the people in our communities that can't afford them. So the pink bus that you're talking about that goes out into some of the communities, people that don't have insurance or that are on a plan that maybe doesn't cover a mammogram, they are able to go out and offer a free mammogram. And so, mammogram costs about $215. So $1 from all of our signature items for the last several years has gone to help that. And they also offer follow-up care. So they have a new program too that I think within the last 2 years called Project Pink Plus. And so any female that has an existing breast lump or other concern, they're able to get a diagnostic mammogram. So not just the screening mammogram, but a more thorough diagnostic mammogram and follow-up care. So it's a great organization.
That is really awesome. So you mentioned the signature item.
Yeah.
What is our signature item this year?
Well, I am excited to see this new item. We have selected a pair of really fun Atrium socks to be our signature item this year. 2020 has just been such a unique year that we thought, hey, why not have a unique signature item for our breast campaign this year, breast health campaign. So, and we aren't able to do the pop-up stores like we have in the past for the t-shirts or anything like that. So we thought, let's do something new and different. And the cool thing about them too is they're a little less expensive than the t-shirts were. So I mean, we're all kind of watching our dimes right now, and so it's a little less of an expensive product. Plus, we have a couple other items on the Proud store too. We have a really cool hot pink fanny pack for anyone that likes to have that. Put their phone in it when they're out walking, and we have some spray sanitizer, and then yeah, don't be shy to wear pink. Yeah, wear it proud. And then we have a really cool water bottle, refillable water bottle that has some pink sparkle to it, a little bling to it as well. So several new items. And I think one thing that teammates don't realize is when they go into the Teammate Proud store, they get free shipping.
Oh, and so we're in the Proud store. Where do we find that?
It's on People Connect. Yep, directly on People Connect. There is a little button on there that you can click onto that says Proud Store. And you can also go directly from the LiveWell website.
Jill, you mentioned the socks. Are you going to have people taking pictures of themselves with socks? Are we asking people to promote themselves and wearing those socks?
Of course, we're definitely going to do a sock selfie Yammer campaign. So
hold on for a second. Sometimes I have to process things. Sock selfie. Would it be a socky? Is it a socky?
You're pushing it a little here.
Nope. Okay, that's not going to work. No, but
you don't have to put your lipstick on or fix your hair to take a sock selfie.
It's socks only.
And you don't have to get your nails done, I guess, because they'll be covered by the really cool sock. So.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win, especially going into the cold season.
When are we doing that Yammer campaign? Because I totally think, Seth, we need to have the well selfie represented with our socks.
It's after October 1st, so you can go ahead and post your sock selfies right now.
That's awesome. And $1 per sock goes to that Project Pink that we were just talking about.
Yes.
To help purchase a mammogram for those who might not have insurance or who need help. So that is simply so much fun and amazing. We just do so much. I'm just baffled by all the wonderful things we do and just feel so grateful.
Really good work always done, and we have such great partners as well. And the other thing I'll tell teammates too is October 14th is Wear Pink Day, Pink and Proud Day. So order your socks early so that you can have them for Go Pink Day, Pink and Proud Day.
That's great. So we will drop in the show notes a link to the socks. We'll put a link to the Proud store in the show notes. And if I can get a picture of the socks, I'll grab one of those and put that in the show notes as well to help promote that.
Yay.
Jill, this has been great. You are often referred to as the mayor. So thanks for joining us. In all seriousness, you have a great connection to our teammates here at Atrium Health and our partners, and you've done a great job of just helping to facilitate this year's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're really happy that you're able to take the time and join us and just share some tidbits. This has been great.
Well, I really appreciate you having me, and just again to remind teammates that it's not just about everything's pink, and that's our visual reminder, but we really do want the message to come across for teammates to get their mammogram, their age appropriate mammogram, and also to practice the self breast exam too. That's another super important key to prevention and early detection.
Absolutely, for sure. And if it's the message for everyone, like you said, if you're not a woman, you probably have a woman in your life. So the message
and then get breast cancer too.
That is true. We used that as a Mythbuster not that long ago. So
unfortunately, it is the case.
Well, thank you so much, Jill, for being on the well with us. This has been great. We appreciate you talking about all this, what we're doing for breast cancer awareness. We'll have to get you back on in 2021.
I look forward to it. Thank you, guys.
What a great conversation about an important topic, and just hearing so much of Jill's passion through that interview really gets you moving. I really appreciate her being on. A lot of information in that interview, Jen. We've covered a pretty dense topic, anywhere from screenings, physical activity. Why don't you recap for us? What did we learn today, Jen?
Great. Well, we learned that breast cancer is the second most common cancer next to the skin cancer. So Get your annual screenings. That's our big takeaway message from today. We also learned that physically active women have a 12 to 21% lower risk of breast cancer.
So Jen, what exactly does that mean? What can teammates do to take advantage of both the screenings and then how being physically active?
Okay, so definitely with the screenings, if you look on our People Connect site, one of the banners across the top, we actually are promoting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So there's information there about where you can get your screenings, how you connect with the mammogram, or definitely go see your doctor, call your doctor, say, hey, it's time, and make an appointment to get that mammogram. It's covered at 100% if you have the Live Well health plan. For exercise, we're looking for 150 minutes a week, so 30 minutes a day, or you can get all of it in at one time. Make sure that your exercise is a combination of cardiovascular as well as strength training. We talked about achieving and maintaining a healthy weight. This next one's all about diet. So this is kind of specific. So eat a healthful diet full of colors. So at least 2.5 to 3 cups of vegetables with 2 cups of fruit every day. Dark leafy greens, red and orange vegetables, legumes such as beans, lentils, peas, limit simple sugars. And then I found a lot of great information on the Susan G. Komen website. They're always up to date. So that's a great resource if people want some additional information about breast cancer and risk factor awareness and what to do.
And here at Atrium Health and Live Well, we have tons of resources. We talked about in our interview. Maybe tell us a little bit about the Live Well resources that are available for people that want to get started.
So as I said, the People Connect page is a great place. We also visit our fitness page under the Live Well tab. And there we have our Toned Up Tuesday videos. You can go to our fitness channel on streams and you can follow that. We have, I think, 12 videos now with all different types of exercises that you can do. We even have exercises for kids that you can get your kids involved. We have challenges on the Total Health portal that you can connect with, but visit also the Live Well nutrition page for more information on how to build in healthy nutrition, how to connect with a dietitian, get that information that you're looking for.
Tons of great resources through Live Well, through Atrium Health for teammates. Some of it sounds pretty basic, right? Get your 150, eat a diverse diet. But for those of you or for those of us that aren't doing a great job on either end, sometimes it's just about getting started. So feel free to use the resources. Every little bit counts. Dose response relationship, i.e., the more you do, the better off you are, whether it's from 0 to 5, not 0 to 150 minutes. But just start doing something, start building those habits, and you'll see the rewards.
Just take that first step, literally.
First step, and then the second step. All right, speaking of steps, next step for us. So lots of great stories here. Teammates, want to share how you live well? Have your story shared on our next Well Yammer page using the hashtag #ILiveWell. And again, hashtag #ILiveWell for your chance for your story to be featured on one of our upcoming podcasts.
Our next podcast topic, we're going to talk all about open enrollment. It's that time of year again. This podcast will be airing on October 22nd. We have a surprise guest. I feel like I kind of been saying that every time, but I love our guests. So trying to build that excitement. Make sure you tune in on October 22nd to see who we're talking to that week.
And don't forget to visit the Live Well website for more information on mammograms, working with a Live Well health coach, and more info on physical activity and also connecting with a dietitian.
Our resources are listed at the end of the show, and we'll add links to the programs discussed today in the comments on our Streams channel.
Looking for more things Live Well? Not following our Streams channel yet? Search The Well on Streams in Office 365 or find us on the Live Well website to access all our content.
Thanks for listening to The Well today.
Stay safe
and live well.